स्क्रीन है,
डैशबोर्ड है, कुर्सी है, तो
ग्रेट,
टेबल है, तो रूम में टेबल है, बाकी
जी जी रितु मैडम आप बताइए।
लैपटॉप है, प्रोजेक्टर है, बोर्ड है,
लैपटॉप है, प्रोजेक्टर है, बोर्ड है, ओके,
कैमरा भी है,
ग्रेट, कैमरा है, कैमरामैन है, ग्रेट, वंडरफुल।
और सर चेयर्स भी है एंट्रेंस के पास,
क्या है?
एंट्रेंस डोर के पास भी चेयर रखी है।
हाँ, ग्रेट ग्रेट, वंडरफुल वंडरफुल, ठीक है, थैंक यू। अब आंखें ओपन कर लीजिए और जरा एक बार विजुलाइज कीजिए क्या क्या आपने मिस किया। देखिए जिन लोगों ने भी बोला है बहुत चीजें हैं, पंखे के बारे में कोई ध्यान नहीं है, ट्यूबलाइट के बारे में कोई ध्यान नहीं है, स्पीकर्स के बारे में कोई ध्यान नहीं है, और मेरे साथ भी होगा, इट इज नॉट एवरीबॉडी विल फेस दिस। हाँ, स्विच बोर्ड्स के बारे में हमारा ध्यान नहीं आया, यस वेरी गुड। हाँ, हम ये बैग्स के बारे में हमारा ध्यान नहीं आया, इतना खूबसूरत बैग है, ठीक है, we did not pay attention to this. What I am trying to tell you is that observation, और इसीलिए evaluation of evidence में कहते हैं, it is said about evaluation of evidence, 10 people saying नहीं मैंने ऐसा होता हुआ नहीं देखा, 10 witnesses coming and deposing before the court, नहीं हमने we have not seen this man during that time, and one person saying I have seen this man. ठीक है, you cannot say 10 minus 1 9, so ज्यादा लोग कह रहे हैं इसने नहीं देखा, so not observing does not mean the thing is not there, but if somebody has observed, it has to be there. It has to be there. Got it? So affirmative statement carries more weight than negative statements. Number one. Number two, what I am saying, इधर classroom में बैठ करके we tend to forget what we have been looking at. आप सोचिए 3 दिन बाद किसी स्टेटमेंट लेंगे तो क्या होगा? So evidence lose करते हैं. So minor penalty proceedings में आप you just punish the person in 1 month and you get the benefit. Okay, ये 5 चीजें थी, मैं एडवांस वार्निंग पे आया, मैंने बात करा स्विफ्टनेस ऑफ पनिशमेंट, सो कॉज एंड इफेक्ट का रिलेशनशिप लर्न नहीं हो। थर्ड इज सर्टेनिटी ऑफ पनिशमेंट, सर्टेनिटी होना चाहिए, समथिंग व्हिच इज लैकिंग इन आवर सिस्टम ओनली बिकॉज वी आर नॉट been able to conduct the proceeding exactly as per the laid down procedure and the rule. That is why at times the proceedings get quashed. Remember, 9 out of 10 cases, or maybe even more than that, if they do not pass the test of judicial review, it is not because of the quantum of penalty. It is not because whether appreciation of evidence has been proper or not. It is because there has been technical lapse in the conduct of inquiry. Okay, so procedure is very important. Means are very important. So 3 advance warning, certainty of punishment, swiftness of punishment, impersonal. The store is not going to punish me and not punish my wife because she spends more time with the store. So if you rather take advance warning, then swiftness of punishment, certainty of punishment, impersonal and consistent. You will have confusion sometimes between impersonal and consistent, but impersonal का मतलब है from one person to another person it will not vary, and consistent का मतलब है every time it will have the same efficacy. ये बात है, that is how a business person. So when you go for the inquiry, then you have to do the verification of the complainant, not the complainant, whether it is post-punitive or corrective business. No, हाँ है, business मैनुअल का चैप्टर 1 में, चैप्टर 1 facets of business में है, डेफिनेटली है। हाँ बिल्कुल, the process is not mentioned there. मैं बताऊंगा why I am saying that. It is only writing corrective business or post-punitive business, but डिपार्टमेंट्स के कंसल्टेशन का अपना प्रोसेस लेट डाउन है. फॉर एग्जांपल, कोल इंडिया विल नॉट बी एबल टू गो टू DOPNT विदाउट गोइंग थ्रू मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ माइंस. आपके अपने मिनिस्ट्री को लिखेंगे, आपकी मिनिस्ट्री ही नोडल मिनिस्ट्री को लिखेंगे. दैट इज द प्रोसेस फॉर एनी कंसल्टेशन, नॉट ओनली डिपार्टमेंटल बिजनेस मैटर, राइट. तो यहाँ पे वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ कंप्लेंट मतलब pseudonymous anonymous, आई थिंक उस पर ज्यादा चर्चा करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You should not be very rude when you are seeking the identity detail of the person. He should not be dissuaded. Your language should not be such which makes him uncomfortable. Should I come out or should I keep quiet? Okay. Okay. So when you are done with the when you are done with the verification of the complainant, then if it is okay, you go ahead. If it is not okay, you close the matter. For the time being, you close the matter. If it is pseudonymous or anonymous, you close the matter. Why do we do that? There have been flip-flop by CBC in this matter for some time. Now it is settled. In fact, they are issuing very harsh letters now. Last in August 2021, they issued a letter that is, despite our repeated advice, it has been observed that people are still taking up matters suo moto or without, on the basis of pseudonymous or anonymous complaint. That should not be resorted to. बहुत छोटा सा लेकिन बड़ा unequivocal सा उन्होंने circular issue किया है. Why it is so? Can you tell me why it is so? So as to take care of malicious complaints. So somebody filing a complaint, pseudonymous or anonymous complaint, to harm someone else's career, and during preliminary investigation, if you find that it was a malicious complaint, then you should be able to take action. Number one. Number two, tomorrow in judicial review, if something comes up, there has to be, जिसको कहते हैं, a father of the complaint, who should take responsibility about the complaint or the material provided by him as evidence. That is why, and therefore, the scrutiny of the complaint. Remember, everybody working in business, the scrutiny of the allegation will be several notches up when it is so much, because the organization is taking responsibility about the truthfulness of the evidence. Please remember, if I have filed a complaint and tomorrow the court says I am a liar, Praveen is liar, you cannot afford your organization to be called a liar. Can you do that? You understand the issue? So therefore, when you are taking suo motu action, preliminary investigation report or evaluation of evidence, whatever that you have collected before issue of the charge sheet, is required to be very high order. Very high order. Okay? Then you run the test. Do we have enough evidence? Do we have enough evidence? If you have enough evidence, then you go for preparing of the charge sheet. If you do not have enough evidence, go for preliminary investigation. So there are two purposes of preliminary investigation. One is collecting evidence. Second is to be able to reach a conclusion whether a regular inquiry is warranted. Collection of evidence and assisting in decision making whether a regular inquiry is warranted in the matter. Okay? And then you prepare the charge sheet. Okay? You prepare the draft charge sheet. If it is a major minority proceeding, it will have 4 annexes. 4 annexes. There is a covering memo, there is a memo, then there are 4 annexes. कवरिंग मेमो क्यों चाहिए? बिकॉज डिलीवरी ऑफ द चार्ज शीट के लिए कवरिंग मेमो कई बार आपको उसके हायर अथॉरिटी को लिखना पड़ेगा. हायर अथॉरिटी विल बी हैंडिंग ओवर द कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर विल बी हैंडिंग ओवर द चार्ज शीट. सो कवरिंग मेमो और मेमोरेंडम, देन 4 annexes. तो मेमोरेंडम का ड्राफ्ट फॉर मेजर एंड माइनर बोथ ऑलरेडी बना के रूल में आपको टेम्पलेट इट हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड टू यू. सो डू नॉट रीइन्वेंट द व्हील, ट्राई एंड यूज द सेम ड्राफ्ट. ओके? Anybody needs any kind of template, please send me a message. I will share with you for daily order sheet, for summoning witnesses, for everything. I'll supply it. Okay. So preparation of the charge sheet. It is a vigilance case. It is likely to go to the CVC also, but CVC also will seek a draft charge sheet from you. Okay. So you have to prepare the draft charge sheet. The 4 annexes will be article of charge, statement of imputation of misconduct or misbehavior in respect of each of the articles, separate, list of document, list of witness. ये 4 डॉक्यूमेंट लगेंगे उसके साथ में. This is what you have to prepare. Inquiry will come thereafter. I told you, and also I think रितु जी ने भी कहा था कि inquiry शुरू होती है चार्ज शीट के डिलीवर होने से. This is easier said than understood. I am telling you. इस बात को बार-बार सोचिएगा. चार्जशीट के डिलीवरी से इंक्वायरी शुरू होती है. Many places in the rule you will find the mention of this can be done when suspension can be done when inquiry is contemplated or pending. ठीक है? This can be done when it is contemplated or pending. You need to know contemplation stage from where will it start, where will it end. Pending stage from where will it start, where will it end. चार्जशीट डिलीवर हुआ तो इंक्वायरी शुरू हो गई. चार्जशीट डिलीवर नहीं हुआ, नो इंक्वायरी हैज been commenced, and therefore you cannot have a ex parte inquiry. If you are conducting ex parte inquiry without delivering the charge sheet, it is void, wrong. Once you have delivered the charge sheet and the person is not cooperating, you can conduct ex parte inquiry, but only after delivery of the charge sheet. If the person is absconding, you are not able to deliver the charge sheet, then go for a special procedure. There is a special procedure. In your rule, go for a special procedure. There are three classification of a special procedure. Criminal conviction, where holding of inquiry is not reasonably practicable, and where in the interest of the security of the state, holding inquiry is not appropriate. These are three exceptions where you can impose penalty without going for an inquiry. When somebody has been criminally convicted, when holding inquiry is not reasonably practicable, and when holding inquiry is not appropriate in view of the interest of the security of the state. These are the three exceptions. These are in Constitution Article 311. The 311 it will not be applicable to companies like you, but your rules reproduces the same word, same language. Okay? So those are the special procedures. Now, charge sheet issue किया, inquiry शुरू हो गई. What is the purpose of inquiry? What is the objective of the inquiry? वो तो आपने कर लिया ना, प्राइम ऑफिस से एविडेंस कलेक्ट कर दिया. यस, ये हाँ, क्या बात, wonderful. The first objective of inquiry, which is a written, this is a laid down objective, जो रूल में लिखा हुआ है, is to give reasonable opportunity. Most of the people start the inquiry with the objective of coming to a conclusion whether the charges are proved or not proved. 90% people start the inquiry with the only objective of proving the charge or disproving the charge. And worse, in some cases, they start the proceeding to punish the charge officer. The whole proceeding is started with the objective to punish the person. And I have not seen a single inquiry where you started to punish and you have been able to punish without committing errors, without committing mistakes. I am telling you with my conviction. ये अलग बात है whether those orders have been challenged or reviewed or not. This is entirely different. But if you start the proceeding with the objective of punishing the person, you are likely to make mistakes. Okay. First purpose of an inquiry is to give reasonable opportunity. It is written in the Constitution. No person, as aforesaid, can be dismissed, removed, or reduced in rank except after an inquiry in which he has been informed of the charges and given reasonable opportunity. Inform किया है charges के बारे में and उसको reasonable opportunity दिया है. Inform कैसे करेंगे हम? How do we inform somebody? By giving him the charge. So information of the charges is the first condition for the inquiry, and to give reasonable opportunity to the person. So whenever somebody is asking you for a document or somebody is asking you for 10 more days, so first you see whether rules allow you to give 10 more days. Then you see how giving 10 more days will adversely affect the course of inquiry. If you think it is going to affect your inquiry, don't give 10 days. But if you think it is not going to affect your inquiry, just to show your power that you can accept or deny the request, please do not deny. Ask this question: is it in any way going to affect the course of inquiry? Because if you don't ask it today, 5 years or 10 years down the line, the courts will be asking you. दे देते तो क्या फर्क पड़ जाना? तो कोर्ट में जवाब देना है. Am I communicating with you? Answer to yourself. How will it? So okay, if I give him more time, he will retire. If he retires, we will not be able to use the penalties of the rule. Good enough reason. Very good reason. ठीक है? So you should have some reason to deny. Now coming to the framing of the charge sheet. What are the essence of a good charge sheet? सबसे पहली बात है चार्ज शीट. मैंने कहा था एलिगेशन और चार्जेस में क्या फर्क है? एलिगेशन एंड चार्जेस में यस प्लीज बताइए. Whatever comes to your mind, please share. What is the difference between allegation and charge sheet?
एलिगेशन एविडेंस का पार्ट रहता है, इसमें कोई जरूरी नहीं कि एविडेंस मिले.
एलिगेशन से बेसिकली कंप्लेनेंट का है और चार्ज शीट इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहा है उसका है. दोनों डिफरेंट
Okay.
स्थिति का है.
Allegation may be backed or may not be backed by facts or
Exercise लेकर देंगे. I think somebody came with the printouts.
बुला दे सकते हैं.
नहीं मुझे ऐसा लगा कोई आया था, but then उनको लगा यहाँ कुछ खास सीरियस नहीं हो रहा है काम, तो वो कहीं और चले गए. ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे. कोई बात नहीं. Okay, so small presentation on drafting of charge sheet. When you start the drafting of charge sheet, out of the 6 documents that I discussed with you, which document will you start drafting first? Covering में एक पैराग्राफ होगा, है ना? Memo is a standard. There is a template. 4 annexes. How will you start drafting? How do you do it? Those who have done the job can tell us how do you prepare the charge sheet. सबसे पहले क्या करता हूँ? हाँ हो गया, वो सब आपके सामने आ गया. Now you have to prepare the charge sheet. Which document?
आर्टिकल फर्स्ट
जी imputation करेंगे पहले.
लिस्ट
List
ऑफ
of charge करेंगे पहले. What are the listed? Article of charge पहले.
article of charge, then imputation, then
So in that 1 के बाद 2, 2 के बाद 3, 3 के बाद 4. That is what you are trying to say. First we will do annexer 1, then annexer 2, then annexer 3. You can do any which way. There is no hard and fast thing. What I would suggest, how I would do it when I have to prepare the charge sheet. जैसे मैंने उसका बनाया था that पेटीएम से 500 रुपए का रिश्वत दिया. देखो हिम्मत कितनी हो गई है लोगों की. पेटीएम से 500 रुपए का रिश्वत दिया. उसको पता था कुछ होना तो है नहीं, है ना? एंड फंस गया बेचारा. पूरी जिंदगी करप्शन करी. देखो 10 cases against him, 7 में बच गया था. 3 more cases going on. इतना हार्ड जिसको बोलते हैं थिक स्किन हो गया था. He paid 500 rupees bribe. ठीक है. And he didn't know that the bank manager was already. Whenever there is a transaction which is suspicious and particularly between these 2 people, you have to intimate. Okay. So how I would do कि मैं सबसे पहले इन चारों में से कुछ भी नहीं बनाऊंगा. सबसे पहले मैं लिखूंगा. I don't know whether friends from south will understand this. You can call it anything. Ram Kahani. I will write. सबसे पहले I will write Ram Kahani. Call it catharsis. Call it your anger. Call it whatever. I have to prepare charge sheet against, say for example, Amresh ji. Whatever anger I have in my mind against him, I'll just keep. Of course, based on the investigation before. So I will just write, or a very bad fellow, doesn't come on time, doesn't behave properly with people, fraud भी है बहुत, many fraudulent claims also. Whatever, you just keep writing, जब तक, till the time all your anger has subsided, and despite pressing, hard, you are not able to find out anything else. Everything has been written over there. Okay. Now you start relating this with the evidence that you have. Okay. So if there is a document and if there is a witness, so you have a witness for this. Good. You have a document for this. Good. You have a document as well as witness for this. Fine. ठीक है, मैप योर एलिगेशंस विद द एविडेंस. हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू प्रूव दिस ड्यूरिंग द इंक्वायरी? रेस्ट एवरीथिंग आपने लिख दिया, यू हैव ऑलरेडी रिटन दैट, आपके अंदर का जहर निकल चुका है. सो नाउ बी कंटेंट विद दैट, उसको मिटा दीजिए. डोंट यूज एनी ऑफ दोज एलिगेशंस इन द चार्जशीट. ओके, ओनली दोज which you have either the document or the witness, at least one of them, then only you use it. Rest everything you should wipe out. Now you start preparing an Excel 2 statement of imputation of misconduct and misbehavior. Okay, rough work is over. Now you start preparing a statement of imputation of misconduct and misbehavior. Be a little careful about the identity of the person. एक बैंक के केस में मैंने देखा, कहीं पे उसको सीजीएम लिख रहे हैं, कहीं पे उसको जीएम लिख रहे हैं, कहीं पे सिर्फ मैनेजर लिख रहे हैं. That is not how a charge sheet should be made. हाँ, एक तो सीबीआई के केस में मैंने देखा, the amount of bribe at 4 places were written in 4 different amounts. एक जगह लिखा था some amount was paid, कहीं पे लिखा था 3.5 lakhs paid, कहीं पे approximately 4 lakhs was paid, कहीं पे 3 lakhs was paid. The same charge sheet, if you are not sure what is the amount of the bribe, you establish the trail of money. Prevention of Corruption Act का मामला है. So you have to have quid pro quo and the trail of money. जब आपको amount ही नहीं पता है, how will you prove? आपका charge sheet itself is telling that you are not sure what the charge is. How are you sure? So be a little careful about the facts. Okay? So then when you have listed all the documents, this is your list of documents, your annexer 3 is ready, your annexer 4 is ready. Annexer 2, annexer 3, annexer 4 are ready. What is article of charge? Annexer 1. Annexer 1 is nothing but title of the story. This is the story. Annexer 1 is the story. Title doesn't mean only 3 to 5 words. Title may be 1 sentence also. Okay? Either you do not refer in the article of charge, or if you are referring it, please be very careful that you are referring to the right rule. Not referring it is still okay. Not saying it involves 3.1a is okay. Maintenance of absolute integrity वैसे भी prove कर देंगे without referring the rule, तब भी ठीक है. But referring and saying something else should be completely avoided. Okay? Then you prepare your annexer 1. When you prepare annexer 1, अब उसका थोड़ा let us come to the nitty-gritty of preparing the charge sheet. It is prima facie proven essence of allegation. It is not just allegation. There has to be prima facie evidence about the allegation. And the manner in which you will express the allegation, you will not say Praveen Prakash Ambasta has been alleged to have submitted a fraudulent claim. What will happen if you say that Praveen is alleged to have done this corruption? I will say yes, I accept. I will say in my reply, I admit to the charge that I have been alleged to have done this fraud. By doing that, what will be proved? That there is an allegation. Okay? So you have to write. जैसे in your laboratory experiment आपने पहले लिख दिया क्या है और फिर उसके एसिड बेसिक रेडिकल्स है ना करके उसको प्रूव कर दिया है ना. उसको क्या कहते हैं इस टेस्ट को, जब आप पहले लिख देते हैं इन्फ्रेंस को और बाद में उसको साबित कर देते हैं है ना. सो यू हैव टू राइट ये चोर है और फिर बाद में एविडेंस से साबित करना है. वो बोलेगा मैं चोर नहीं हूँ, आरोप है चोरी करने का, तो मैं बोलूंगा यस सर यू आर राइट, एब्सोल्युटली राइट, आरोप है चोरी करने का है ना. देन accusation in general terms such as negligence, inefficiency, acceptance of substandard work, ठीक है, ये चीजें उसमें लिखी रहेंगी briefly, carefully. The last वाला पॉइंट मैं कहूंगा आपको लिखना चाहिए. Person, places, 4 वर्ड लिख लीजिए. Just write down 4 words in your diary. Persons, places, things and time. Persons, places, things and time. Should be very careful. ये चीजें मेंशन करेंगे. इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए बहुत आसान हो जाता है, इंक्वायरी के लिए बहुत आसान हो जाता है. You should write who are the people who were present at that point of time, है ना. where this event occurred, at which date and which time did it occur. तो जैसे ही ये चीजें आप लिख देते हैं उसको प्रूव करना आसान हो जाता है. You should not be writing in general term, it has to be in a specific term. इसलिए लिखा है briefly, clearly, precisely. Okay? You should never use the word never in your charge sheet. You should not do. You should never use the word always in your charge sheet. You should never use the word habitual in your charge sheet. These are some of the common errors. When you write, he is a habitual drunkard. When you write in your charge sheet, he is an habitual absentee. You have made your job difficult because you are not saying that on Friday the 13th October he did not come to office. You are saying he is habitual absentee. So prove the habit now.
नहीं सर, कोई जैसे मेरे केस में habitual absenteeism का कोई नहीं है, बहुत सारे चार्जेस में हैं, उसमें डिसीजन
ठीक है.
वो
I would say
रिकॉर्ड रहा ले करके 1 साल 2 साल का देते हैं.
it makes your job difficult because I mean proving habit is a little difficult job than proving the instance on a particular day. So if you say on this day you were late, on this day you misbehaved, ये ठीक है. In a drunken state, it is easy. But ये habit हो गई लोगों की कि habit को use करने लग गए हैं in the charge sheet.
वो इंडस्ट्री थोड़ा सा उस तरह का इंडस्ट्री
नहीं सभी जगह है. It is not only coal. मैं सब जगह देखता हूँ कि लोगों को habitual absenteeism.
हैबिट
उसका एक reason है. If you cite one example and if you initiate a measure penalty, then in other side it seems that एक चीज के लिए आपने measure कर दिया.
तो 4 दीजिए. तो 4 दीजिए, 4 बार absenteeism लिखिए, मगर habit word को avoid कीजिए. 4 स्पेसिफिक केस दीजिए. आप बोलेंगे आपको कभी टाइम पे नहीं आता, मैं तो हमेशा टाइम पे आता हूँ. आप साइन करेंगे मंडे वेडनेसडे और फ्राइडे में टाइम पे नहीं आया, तो मैं कहूँगा मैं ट्यूसडे थर्सडे और सैटरडे टाइम पे आया था. अगर आप हैबिट भी बोल रहे हो तो हैबिट में 200 दिन का अगर ऑफिस है, 200 दिन में अगर आप 40 दिन नहीं है ऑफिस, तो बोलेगा भाई 160 दिन में आया हूँ, वो हैबिट है कि 40 दिन नहीं आया, वो हैबिट है. व्हाट इज हैबिट?
विजिलेंस केसेस में जनरली हम लोग नहीं करते हैं.
मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ, इट इज अ वेरी सब्जेक्टिव थिंग एंड कोर्स हमेशा ये कहती है स्पेसिफिक बनना है, आपको स्पेसिफिकली लिखना है. इस दिन ये आप 4 अलग-अलग आर्टिकल में 4 दिन एब्सेंटिज्म का लिखिए और चारों प्रूव कर दीजिए. Instead of writing one article of charge and saying on this and this date he was late, so he is a habitually. हाँ आप तो बताइए 20 साल की नौकरी में मैं 4 दिन टाइम पे नहीं आया, does those 4 days will define what is my habit or the remaining period will define what is my habit? ठीक है. So this is very important. हाँ ठीक है, ऐसे डिबेट होना चाहिए. Persons, places, things and time you should write. Even I recommend people who write complaint like bit complaint. It is very important that you make the facts. You know why? Facts, because ये fact है. Person, places, things and time क्या है? These are facts of the case. Sir, अभी use करें. These are the facts of the case. ठीक है. अब क्या है? एविडेंस के एप्रिशिएशन में आप देखेंगे कि चार्ज को एस्टैब्लिश करने वाले एविडेंस बहुत कम होते हैं. You will have very few evidence which will actually prove the charge. यहाँ से बाकी के मार्कर कोई उठा देंगे क्या? सुबह मैंने 4 मार्कर्स मंगवाए थे, ब्लैक वाला दिख ही नहीं रहा मुझे. What I am saying, this is the charge against me. छोड़िए कोई बात नहीं. Let's not plead. नहीं green नहीं. I wanted a black one, but and actually I got it in the morning, but anyway. This is the charge. Okay, this is charge against me, and there are several evidences. What you will find mostly that these evidences will not be capable of proving the charge directly. These evidences will prove the facts around the charge. जैसे for example, ट्रेन का टिकट, या LTC claim, ठीक है? लीव का एप्लीकेशन, LTC एडवांस का विड्रॉवल. These are the facts. These are not the charge basically. Please understand. Proving one of them proves only a fact that he had got sanction leave, that he had purchased a ticket. These are facts proving. No, evidences proving those particular facts, not the charge. So एक चीज यहीं पे लिख लीजिए कि charges are proved by creating a nexus of has to be nexus of charge, fact and evidence. C, F and E. Charges have several facts around it. और स्किल तभी है जब आप चार्ज को कई फैक्ट्स में ब्रेक कर सकें। क्या ऐसा करने के लिए क्या क्या करना पड़ा होगा? When you are able to, चलिए ठीक है, this will do. When you are able to break a charge into several facts, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया एलटीसी अगर है तो लीव होगा, ट्रैवल होगा, कंसेशन होगा, तभी एलटीसी है ना। ब्राइब अगर लिया है तो कोई कंसिडरेशन होगा। Nobody will pay me bribe if I am not in a position to help. There has to be a quid pro quo. I should be able to help the person. तो ये facts हैं. You break the charge into several facts and then you have evidence to prove those facts. If you can prove those facts, not the charge directly, in departmental proceeding where the level of evidence, क्या है level of evidence in departmental proceedings? Preponderance of probability, not beyond reasonable doubt. In a departmental proceeding, just by proving the facts around the charge, you will be able to prove the case. ठीक है? So therefore, जो आप facts हैं उसको बहुत अच्छे से मेंशन करेंगे and information का बात ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं। चार्जशीट कौन बनाता है आपको पता है, डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी का, he is the author of the चार्जशीट, डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी। हम थोड़ा बहुत इसके बारे में बात कर चुके हैं। कैन अ डीए, ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है और आपको अपने अपने रूल में चेक करना है। बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि जो मेजर पेनाल्टी का चार्जशीट वो नहीं बना सकता जो माइनर पेनाल्टी का डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी है, मगर सीसीए रूल बहुत क्लियरली बोलता है रूल 13(2) में कि वो भी बना सकता है। मेजर पेनाल्टी की चार्जशीट को वो भी अप्रूव कर सकता है जो माइनर पेनाल्टी का। Not only that, he can also conduct the inquiry under major penalty proceeding. He cannot only punish. Punishment नहीं कर सकता, बाकी सब कुछ कर सकता है। Okay, so these are the documents I discussed with you. So substance जो है उसको clearly.
Sir, I could not get the previous one actually.
Sir, I was discussing that under Rule 13(2) of the CCA rule of a disciplinary authority who is disciplinary authority for minor penalty only can also frame a major penalty charge sheet, approve it. Okay, and in fact उसमें if you go further down in sub rule 21 of rule 14, it is also said that he can also conduct the inquiry. है ना? He can also conduct the inquiry. He cannot impose the major penalty because for that he is not qualified, but he can conduct the inquiry also. This is what I was submitting. So, charge sheet, when it is withdrawn, how is it different from the dropping of the charge sheet? Until what time can charge sheet be withdrawn? Up to which time in the inquiry will you be able to withdraw the charge sheet?
Before commencement of the regular hearing.
So therefore, actually, no, देखिए, regular hearing जो है, रेगुलर हियरिंग की शुरुआत हो जाती है जब से आईओ अपॉइंट होता है। मैं अभी वो फिर से वापस फ्लो चार्ट दिखाऊंगा। आईओपीओ जब अपॉइंट होता है और उसके बाद एक वो प्रिलिमिनरी हियरिंग करता है, उसके बाद इंस्पेक्शन ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट एंड फिर रेगुलर हियरिंग होता है। बट ऑर्डर्स ये कहते हैं कि चार्जशीट कैन बी विड्रॉन एनी टाइम और इवन ड्रॉप एनी टाइम व्हेन द इंक्वायरी इज पेंडिंग। पेंडिंग कब तक है? वो ऑर्डर इशू करने तक। कहां से पेंडिंग है? चार्जशीट डिलीवर होने से। From the time of delivery of the charge sheet till the time the order has been passed, the inquiry is pending. So it can be, everybody with me, और minute difference है dropping and withdrawal में. Any time during this period, charge sheet can be withdrawn, charge sheet can be dropped. But difference ये है, first thing ये है कि dropping का मतलब है you have dropped the matter altogether. You will not initiate it again. It is an adjudication. This is your फैसला. So when you drop it. It means on the same facts of the same case, you will not do inquiry all over again. It is done. But withdrawal का मतलब ये है, you reserve your right to issue fresh charge sheet and start the proceeding again. This is the difference between withdrawal of the charge sheet and dropping of the charges. Number one. Number two, while dropping is allowed till the time of the order, but withdrawal is allowed only before the stage of report of the IO arrives. IO का रिपोर्ट कराने से पहले, ठीक है? When the inquiry is actually pending, when the proceedings are going on, you can withdraw the charge sheet. Why it is not allowed? The reason is, and there are Supreme Court judgments on this. Can you tell me why when the submissions are over and the matter has gone to IO to submit his IO report, you are not supposed to withdraw the charge sheet? Why? Can anybody answer this? I'm on the why part.
या तो charges prove हो जाएंगे
अभी कंप्लेंट नहीं हुआ, बिकॉज़ आईओ का रिपोर्ट सबमिट नहीं हुआ, ऑर्डर पास नहीं हुआ, कंप्लेंट नहीं हुआ, इंक्वायरी इज स्टिल पेंडिंग, बट द सबमिशन ऑफ ऑल द पार्टीज हैज गॉट ओवर, देन यू कैन नॉट विथड्रॉ द चार्ज शीट. व्हाई?
Because the proceedings are completed and the facts that is proved or not has come up. Fact has been come on.
So before the stage of adjudication has arrived, adjudication का process शुरू होने से पहले आप कर सकते हैं, उसका process शुरू होने के बाद नहीं कर सकते, because if it is left to the departments, to the disciplinary authority to continue to withdraw the charge sheet. Remember, I just told you, withdrawal of charge sheet doesn't forfeit you the power to initiate the inquiry all over again. So you conducted an inquiry against Praveen Prakash Ambassador. The submissions are over. Now you feel, अरे ये तो बच के निकल रहा है, फिर से करेंगे, वो कभी ओवर ही नहीं होगा. That sword will always be hanging on my head. समझ रहे हैं? Are you getting this? That inquiry will perpetually continue against me if that is allowed. That is why it is not allowed. ठीक है ना? So ये मैंने जो आपसे डिस्कस किया वही है, इसके ऊपर जजमेंट भी है ये चमन लाल गोयल का. ड्रॉपिंग ऑफ चार्ज शीट का मतलब क्या होता है? However, I would like to tell you one thing, that it is not a very good idea to amendment of the charge sheet. Third
I
point
have
is
a question here, sir.
sir, please sir, every time sir.
Up to what stage the charge sheet can be withdrawn?
Just before the stage of adjudication has started. That means when the submissions are still going on of either of the parties, that is the time when you can withdraw the charge.
During regular hearing.
Exactly. Till general examination, you can do that. But once that is also over, you should not do it, because the parties do not have anything else to say.
But in that case also, sir, the inquiry can continue perpetually, as you have said. Again, new charge sheet can be
Abhi right now,
or the inquiry can be
Abhi right now, the inquiry is still going on, so stage of adjudication has not arrived. I said when general examination is still pending. When general examination is over, you cannot do it. That is the last stage. But when it is pending, you do not know what will come in defense. You do not know what the PO is coming in his brief. That is something you do not know. That is the time when you will be able to. And generally, why do you withdraw instead of drop the charges? Why do you do that? क्यों करना पड़ता है? To improve the charge sheet. If there is any अगर बाद में कुछ आए, कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि contour of the charge sheet itself has changed. कोई नई चीज सामने आई है, आप करना चाहते हैं, या कोई गलती पकड़ में आ गई, you want to improve upon that. So that facility has been given to you, but the earliest is the better. I'll tell you, the earliest you do, it is better for you. Okay?
Sir, so means till the submission of management and defense brief, it is permitted to.
Till that time, just only test that you should apply, sir, is this, that still some of the parties have to make some submission, some point, which has not been disclosed. That is the time, but once from their side it is over, you should not withdraw the charge. You can drop it. You can still drop the charges, but you cannot withdraw the charges. This reserves you the right to come back again with another fresh charge sheet on the same misconduct. Right, sir? And did you really open that rule? आपका CDA rule open किया आपने? एक बार rule 25 पे जाएंगे. It can be companies में अलग थोड़ा बहुत आगे पीछे हो सकता है, 25 की जगह 24 26 हो सकता है, बट नॉट ड्रामेटिकली। एक बार जाएंगे, सस्पेंशन है 25 में, सस्पेंशन है तो फिर एक दो रूल और आगे जाइए। पेनाल्टी का लिस्ट देखिए, 28 है, सभी का 28 है। यू ऑल हैव कॉमन रूल्स। ऑल इंडिया का अलग है, मैकॉन का अलग होगा, सेल का अलग होगा, यस है ना।
28 and 30.
When the actually वो मेरा चार्ज में नहीं है, I don't know, somebody is discussing with you IOPO, no?
Yes.
Role of IO, role of PO, or already discussed?
No.
Tomorrow, so छोड़ देते हैं उस part को। But remember, when the PO is appointed or the IO is appointed, the first thing they have to do is to check their appointment, whether it is correct or not, and then check the document whether the charge sheet is okay or not. When मैं सिर्फ एक दो लाइन बोलना चाहता हूँ because the faculty will discuss in detail. When the IO has to only check about the technical errors, clerical typographical error in the charge sheet, the PO is required to also check the error in the merit of the charge sheet. And if he finds anything lacking, in another CBI case, I found a hilarious situation. I really laughed, although my client got the hard treatment, but I had to laugh. You know why? Because the charge sheet from CBI is mentioning in the list of document confessional statement of the charged officer of so and so dated 2nd June 2019. Confessional statement. And when I see the documents, I find 2nd June 2019 को he has vehemently opposed the charge. There is no confession. Actually, he has said no, I have not received. When I looked up some more paper, I found there is a 4th June 2019 letter where he has accepted having received the bribe. लेकिन चार्जशीट में क्या लिखा है? लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट में क्या लिखा है? कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट डेटेड 2nd जून। मैंने कहा ये तो बात बन गई, बट देन जब मैंने आगे पढ़ा तो मेरे क्लाइंट ने, जिसके लिए मैं गया था, मेरा क्लाइंट ने जो डॉक्यूमेंट मांगते हैं ना अपनी तरफ से, डिफेंस डॉक्यूमेंट, एडिशनल डॉक्यूमेंट, उसमें लिख करके ये बोल दिया है कि आपने लिखा 2 जून था, मैंने कन्फेस तो 4 जून को किया था, तो आपने 2 जून वाला क्यों लगाया, 4 जून वाला क्यों? मुझे 4 जून वाला कॉपी दीजिए। अरे तुम्हारा ही तो स्टेटमेंट है, व्हाई डू यू नीड इट? मुझे इतनी हंसी आई, मेरा ही क्लाइंट था, बट मुझे इतनी हंसी आई, मैंने कन्फेस तो 4 जून को किया था साहब, आपने 2 जून करके गलत कर दिया। उसको चुप रहने से वो पूरा केस उसके फेवर में था, बिकॉज 2 जून को कोई कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट नहीं था, एंड केस हेवीली डिपेंडेड ऑन हिज कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट, बट ही ब्रॉट द डॉक्यूमेंट विद इन द प्रोसीडिंग ऑफ द केस बाय आस्किंग 4th जून। सीबीआई वुड हैव सेड थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, आपसे बढ़िया कोई नहीं, यू आर द बेस्ट, इजंट इट? 4th जून। So ऐसे कई बार होता है। When you see a glitch, a technical as well as glitch in merit, the presenting officer is required to bring it to the knowledge of the disciplinary authority immediately. Something we are failing. Many of us are failing. In fact, we do not go through the paper immediately till the preliminary hearing is called for, and then we do not have much time to do the course correction. The easier is the better. Then अगर आप देखेंगे जैसे ही इंक्वायरी का प्रोसीडिंग खत्म हो जाता है डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से, when the management proceedings are over, presenting officer can still ask for some more evidence which is not there in the charge sheet. That power also is given. We do not make use of that. You read it, आप रूल में देखना, that power is also there. चलिए, this is gone. मैं charge sheet पे आपको एक छोटा सा वो देता हूँ, केस स्टडी टाइप है। इसका एक तरीका है, आपको you have to use your this hand and बंडल को ऐसे आगे बढ़ाना, बस सबने ऐसे करना है, ठीक है ना? लेफ्ट हैंड से अपने पास रखना है, इस हैंड से आगे बढ़ाना, आगे बढ़ाना, सही वाला हाथ यूज करना है, ठीक है? एकदम जल्दी नहीं करना है, क्विकली। 1 मिनट में ये 50 पाँव तक जा सकता है। और जो लोग अभी गए हैं, yes please please, why not sir?
विड्रॉवल ऑफ चार्जशीट और मॉडिफिकेशन करना चाहें,
अमेंडमेंट टू चार्ज, मैंने बोला अमेंडमेंट इज अ वेरी रिस्की बिजनेस। आई वुड से इंस्टेड Instead of amendment, you can go for withdrawal. मगर amendment भी करेंगे तो आपको एक बात ध्यान रखना है. For the purpose of the proceedings, the amended portion will go back to the stage of framing of the charges. So you have to give him reasonable opportunities. Again, not necessarily exactly 15 days, not necessarily, but you have to give him reasonable time. ठीक है? It can be less than 15 days, but never less than 3 days. And why I am saying 3 days? Also, answer is there in the rule itself. अगर आप देखेंगे, everybody has got it? पहले केस है, उसके पीछे कुछ छोटे-छोटे केसलेट्स हैं. पहले उसको हम देखते हैं. एक्स्ट्रा कॉपी है किसी के पास? Anybody having extra copies? इधर सभी को मिल गया? All three of you have got it. यहाँ से one person has left, ना? हाँ, दीजिए ना. ऐसे क्यों? बैक टू बैक बोला था मैंने. फिर तो फायदा ही नहीं हुआ. फिर इसको स्टेपन करके देने का फायदा नहीं हुआ. बैक टू बैक करना था. चलिए, सुरेश महतो while working as a चौकीदार in ABC stores is alleged to have committed. बताइए, आपका कमेंट दीजिए इसमें. कहाँ से शुरू करें? सर, गौरव जी आप शुरू करिए. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. सबके पास है ना? रीड क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. सुरेश जी आप बताएं. हाँ वही उसका 1 बताइए.
Suresh Mahto, while working as a chowkidar in ABC store, is alleged to have committed or abetted theft of valuable stores item worth rupees 30,640 during the night of 10th or 11th November 2000.
What is the error here? Error तो है सभी में.
सर 10th and 11th
नहीं 10th और 11th की नाइट में, यानी 10 की रात 11 की सुबह से पहले. 10th और 11th दैट इज ओके. उसमें वो गलती नहीं है. हाँ alleged है. alleged को काटिए. alleged गलत है. alleged वर्ड नहीं लिखना. दूसरा committed और abetted आपको पता ही नहीं है. You are issuing the charge, you do not know whether he did it or he provoked somebody else to do it. That is wrong. Okay. Next question. Keshav Lal वाला.
Shri Keshwar Lalwala, cashier, while working in KGP division, was making payment to the casual laborer on 12/9/95. On checking, it was found that there was a shortage of cash. Shri Lalwala is therefore guilty of conduct and becoming of a government servant.
Amount of shortage भी mention करें.
अमाउंट नहीं लिखा है, स्पेसिफिक नहीं है चार्ज. क्या शॉर्टेज था, कितना होना चाहिए था, कितना था, तो कितने का शॉर्टेज था, ये आना चाहिए था. ग्रेट, वंडरफुल. नेक्स्ट.
Dinesh Panchal, assessment officer, income tax, Mumbai division, availed free hospitality from an assessee, Shri Veer Singh, by staying in his guest house during 13/4/96 to 16/4/96, along with his wife.
Well, less.
इसमें कोई चार्ज ही नहीं है.
कुछ चार्ज नहीं है.
हाँ ये
कौन सा with guest house?
अवेल फ्री हॉस्पिटलिटी कितनी अमाउंट की हॉस्पिटलिटी अवेल किया, कहाँ पर किया?
हाँ भी किया. चलिए अच्छा है. ये वैसे ही एक जोक था, मैं बीच में क्विज के बीच, लेकिन जोक है नहीं, एक्चुअली ऐसा हुआ. क्लासरूम में कोई बंदा लेकर आया था एंड ये था लगभग ये, इसमें जो हिज वाइफ है वो किसकी वाइफ है मुझे तो नहीं पता चला. आप देखिए. हाँ इससे पहले भी एक बार एक ऐसे ही आया था. हाँ there was a eve. Last evening there was a meeting on eve teasing in director's room. मेरे को तो पता नहीं पड़ा कि मेरे डायरेक्टर के कमरे में eve teasing हुआ या eve teasing के ऊपर मीटिंग हुई डायरेक्टर के कमरे में. आपको पता चला? Last evening there was a meeting on eve teasing in director's room. इसीलिए इंग्लिश लिखने में इसको the devil's advocate. प्रॉक्सिमिटी का एक रूल होता है, किस चीज को किसके साथ लगाना है. ठीक है, ग्रामेटिकली एकदम ठीक है, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बट आपको पढ़ना चाहिए कि इसकी एक से ज्यादा मीनिंग कोई निकल सकते हैं. अगर उसके एक से ज्यादा मीनिंग निकल सकते हैं तो रीफ्रेम करिए उसको, चार्जशीट को.
100% clarified होगा.
100% क्लैरिफाइड होना चाहिए. यहाँ पे कोई है नहीं. हाँ अच्छा पता ये चलता तो मैं कुछ एग्जांपल्स आपको दिखाता. एनीवे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन.
Ms. Madhuri Gupta, personal assistant, misused the STD facilities in the office for personal purpose and issued a false, bogus and fraudulent certificate that all the calls were for official purpose.
This is suffering from verbosity. All bogus and fraudulent. हाँ, इतना सब लिखने की जरूरत नहीं थी, है ना? हाँ, नहीं है. शांतनु चटर्जी.
Shri Shantanu Chatterjee, senior superintendent, during June 1995, prepared a false receipt paid in respect of self and family, thereby causing financial loss to the state to the tune of 27,000. By the above, Shri Shakuni has displayed conduct unbecoming of a government servant and lack of absolute integrity.
Correct.
Shri Pranit Sharma, the Deputy Director Administration, had sanctioned loans to a large number of brick manufacturing units by committing irregularities, but did not disburse the entire loan amount to the borrowers. And while a portion of the loan amount was deposited in the account of the borrowers, the balance was misappropriated by him and others.
No specificity. कुछ भी कोई मतलब क्लैरिटी नहीं है क्या अमाउंट था, कितना दिया था.
Shri Vasudev Sharma, Welfare Officer, issuing order to the beneficiaries of disability pension scheme, changed the amount in 4 money orders by overriding parents and misappropriated a total of 96,500.
Another example जहाँ पे कुछ भी specific नहीं है. एक दो बातें और कहना चाहूँगा before you go further. This is the case study जो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप लोग थोड़ा उसको वो करें, डिस्कस करें और इसमें एक छोटा सा चार्टशीट बनाने का प्रयास करें. Annexer 1, 2, 3, 4. इसके पहले मैं आपको एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ कि चार्टशीट में जब आपने ये वाला एक्सरसाइज किया राम कहानी, when you did your catharsis and you prepared the charge sheet. Supposing there are 10 items for which you have evidence, good amount of evidence, 10 misconducts. Should you include all 10 of them? You have to decide. Plus you have to also decide the order. Which one to keep above, then which one? What will be the order? Very good. Thank you. So, first of all, should you write all the charges in your charge sheet, just for which you have evidence or document, or is there any limitation on the number of charges per charge sheet? Number of articles per charge sheet. What is the maximum number of articles that you have seen in a charge sheet? Have you seen 10 charges? I have seen one case. I have seen 6 charges in 2-3 cases, but 10 भी देखा है मैंने एक केस में. There is no written policy on this. There is no Supreme Court judgment on this that I know. But I will request you examine one thing. If you make 10 charges or you make 2 charges, maximum 2. और 2 किस केस में होता है वो भी बता दीजिए सर. नहीं. जब 2 होगा तो उसमें से एक हमेशा कॉमन होगा. That is rule 3, sub rule 3. Recovery of loss to the government exchequer. This is the only penalty which can be added to another penalty. So dismissal plus recovery of loss. Withholding of increment plus recovery of loss. Recovery of loss नहीं है तो 2 penalty नहीं लगा सकते, एक ही लगा सकते. Out of 10 you can only impose. किसी कंपनी में 9 penalties भी हैं. कहीं लोगों ने compulsory retirement को drop कर दिया है कंपनीज में जहाँ पेंशन नहीं है, because the only difference between compulsory retirement and removal is pension. पेंशनरी बेनिफिट्स. ओके, जहाँ पे कोई पेंशनरी बेनिफिट नहीं है वहाँ पे कंपल्सरी रिटायरमेंट पेनल्टी का लिस्ट में होना इज एब्सोल्युटली सुपरफ्लुअस. ओके, तो फॉर एग्जांपल पावर फाइनेंस कॉर्पोरेशन उनके रूल में कंपल्सरी रिटायरमेंट है एंड देयर में भी 11 आल्सो लाइक रेलवे में उनका जो पासेस मिलते हैं, वारंट मिलता है, वो एक एडिशनल पेनल्टी है उनके केस में. सो नंबर ऑफ चार्जेस जो है वो आप रैशनलाइज कीजिए, बिकॉज more number of charges, more articles will take more time for you to conclude. And now there is a time limit after PC hota committee recommendation. 6 months from the date of appointment of IO. 6 months you have to finish, submit the IO report. So number of articles बहुत ज़्यादा होगा तो charge sheet उतना ही, inquiry उतना ही लंबा होने का है chance है. You should definitely have a backup plan. For example, what I would do, if just the crude way, if I can explain, if I have sufficient evidence to prove murder, why would I write murder, grievous assault, injury. Why would I write this? I will only prove murder. Is good enough? So I will go from the heaviest, or severest to the less severe. That will be my order. It can be otherwise also. But my preference is go to the severest charge in the first article. So lack of integrity should be सबसे पहले, सबसे ऊपर, and then slowly. That is how other people are also doing mostly. But then have one or two fallback option, because if you for any reason if you are not able to prove the first article, at least you are able to prove the remaining one. So, but having 6, 8, 10 articles is not a very good charge sheet. Number one. Number two, do not join two misconducts into one article. Never do that, because if you do that, you are likely to have a fragmented opinion of the IO. There are basically only two options before the IO: writing proved or not proved. I'm coming to that, sir. There are basically only two options: proved or not proved. Always keep this in mind. Very important point I am discussing with you. In criminal proceeding, there is another finding possible, which is neither proved nor disproved. Proved, not proved, neither proved nor disproved. When I say neither proved nor disproved, that means the level of evidence is very low, weak. I am not able to understand whether this charge is proved or not proved. That is the judgment of the magistrate. Okay? Because the level of evidence is so high, beyond reasonable doubt. I have reasonable doubt. So therefore, I don't know whether it is proved or not proved. In the case of departmental proceeding, the inquiry is done at the level of preponderance of probability. Ponder means thinking. Thinking tilts. Probability, sambhavana. What is more likely to have happened? That is the question being asked. What is more likely to have happened? Whether he would have done, that is more likely. He would not have done, that is more likely. If I am being asked a question, what is more likely to have been done, I cannot say मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया. I am confused. Are you getting this? That is why the third finding is not available. About partly proved, basically people have to understand, partly proved also means proved or disproved. Actually, partly proved, friends, is not communication of my state of confusion. Partly proved means there are two parts or three parts of the charge. One part is proved, remaining is not proved. That is what is partly proved. Am I communicating with you? So Praveen did not maintain cash book and thereby cause loss to the government exchequer. This is a wrong charge sheet. It should have come in two articles. Not maintaining cash book, causing loss to the exchequer. So one charge is proved, maybe another charge is not proved. I did not maintain the cash book, but you do not have evidence to show that it actually did make loss to the government exchequer. So that is the case of partly proved. Part 1 proved, part 2 not proved of the same article. But whenever you are writing, as an IO, whenever you are writing partly proved, it is your duty to write which part is proved, which part is not proved. Something I have seen even from CBI officers on the level of SP not writing. They are just saying partly proved. If you do not, the final order or the IO report has to be speaking. If you do not tell me which part is proved, which part is not proved, how do I submit my representation against that IO report? You tell me. You are not coming clear. You are keeping it vague. Partly proved. So partly proved means you have to tell which part is proved, which part is not proved. So ultimately, sir, it goes to the only two findings: proved, not proved. Even partly proved also means proved or not proved, right? So when charge sheet mein, when you are making the charges, you keep in mind the number, how many charges to be. इसको बोलते हैं, is it required to be proved? The test is this required to be proved? Grievous injury है, but when I have my first charge murder, second charge attempt to murder, do I need to prove this? Leave it, छोड़ दो इसको. ठीक है? So that is then having a devil's advocate approach, not doing all by yourself. After having prepared the charge sheet, you give it to somebody else, let him read, try and understand. If he comes to some other inference by the language, if the language is not very clear, they may come to some other conclusion. That also should not happen. Okay? So ये important है. Then definitely list of document, list of witness को अच्छी तरह से check करना है. And यहाँ पे PO, once PO is appointed, he should also very clearly see that everybody who is supposed to be a witness in the matter. For example, you are relying upon preliminary investigation report heavily during the inquiry. Preliminary investigation report has been quoted several times in the charge sheet, and the preliminary investigation officer has not been made a witness. It is a very weak case. No statement by anybody carries good weight if the person is not available for cross examination. Very simple. चाहे वो गवर्नमेंट, चाहे वो कोर्ट का मामला हो, चाहे वो डिपार्टमेंट में हो, no written statement even from preliminary investigation officer carries weight when the person who is the author of the statement is not available for cross examination. Okay, एक छोटा सा केस and then I leave you to go and have your tea. Now case ये है, there is an officer who was given a duty. 90% facts है, 10% तो dramatize करना ही पड़ता है. It is from my previous term when I was working as desk officer in the office of Chief Commissioner Disabilities. 3rd of December every year we celebrate International Day of Disabled Persons. Every year across the world. 3rd of December. Okay. And on that day, national awards are distributed. National award for best person with disability, best employee with disability, best employer for disabled persons, best government servant with disability, best sports person with disability, best artist with several. So many awards. It takes almost the whole day, starting from around 10:30 till 5 o'clock in the evening. Whole day awards are distributed. So many categories, around 14 or so categories. Age का अलग है, male female का अलग है. It takes so much of time. President is called to hand over the national awards, signed by the president and also handed over by the president. At times, Prime Minister has presided over the function, but Minister of Social Justice, the minister has to be always present there. When such a high level program is organized, many people have to be drafted to do their roles in organization of the event, right? And there is very clear-cut office order issued to everybody. Several teams are formed for catering, for welcoming, for ushering, for registration, for escort duty to the VIPs, for getting police clearances, for so many invitation cards distribution, liaison officer for media. So many different types of duties have to be performed by the officials involved. Okay, everybody gets to know what is their role and how he has to perform. On 2nd of December, there is a full dress rehearsal in the same house, same hall. So somebody will become a wheelchair user, somebody will become a blind person, somebody will don the role of the President of India, somebody will be the master of the ceremony, and whole day the thing will be done as if full dress rehearsal, and we will see where we can cut down on the time, how we can do it better. So in the office order it is clearly mentioned on 2nd of December everybody has to reach by 9:30, 10 o'clock the function will start. On the day of the program everybody has to reach at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock. Everybody has to reach at 8 o'clock. It is like this. 9:45 the secretary reaches. 9:48 the Honorable Minister or the MOS will reach. 9:50 the ministers will reach. 9:55 the Prime Minister shall reach. 9:58 the President shall reach. 10 o'clock the lamp will be lighted. इतना प्रिसीजन के साथ प्लानिंग होती है. प्राइम मिनिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट आते वैसे ही होता है, ठीक है. And the officials were asked to reach at 8 o'clock. This one person, let him be called Mr. Sharma, was asked to reach at 8 o'clock. He is head of the ushering duty team. What is the duty? You have to pick your guest from the registration counter, जहाँ पर उनका registration होगा, उनको folder and badges वगैरह दिए जाएंगे. From there you have to take them into the main hall where 1100 people have to be seated according to their seat number on their invitation card, and you have to guide them to go to their allocated seat and sit there. So he has 6 people, members in his team. Always 2 people will be going in, 2 people will be coming out, and 2 people will be waiting at the registration. So this is how. 2 लोग registration counter पे wait कर रहे हैं, 4 लोग इस समय रास्ते में guest को लेके जा रहे हैं. So this is how it has to be managed. 1000 people will be taken in by these 6 people and made to sit on their seat. Now this Mr. Sharma reached on time on the day of the full dress rehearsal, but on the day of the function he did not come. Everybody else is there. Mr. Sharma is not there. 8:30 पे seniors आने लग गए. 8:45 the director is asking where is Mr. Sharma? Mr. Sharma is nowhere. Director फिर 5 मिनट लगा रहे, शर्मा जी नहीं आए. This is, I think if I'm not wrong, this is 2007. स्मार्टफोन तो खैर था ही नहीं. स्मार्टफोन तो 2013-14 के आसपास में आया. बट इवन छोटा वाला फोन भी सबके पास नहीं है. सो लैंडलाइन किसी के पास है नहीं वहां पे विज्ञान भवन के बाहर. शर्मा जी का वेट कर रहे हैं. 9:40 पे शर्मा जी आ रहे हैं. थोड़ा देर करते तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी आ चुके होते शर्मा जी को रिसीव करने के लिए. बट शर्मा जी 9:40 पे टहलते हुए आए और जैसे ही वो पहुंचे सीधा रजिस्ट्रेशन काउंटर पे आए एंड ही सॉ द डायरेक्टर. एंड दोस डेज मिनिस्ट्री में सेक्शन ऑफिसर और डायरेक्टर के बीच में एक अंडर सेक्रेटरी एक डिप्टी सेक्रेटरी होता था, फिर डायरेक्टर. अब डिप्टी सेक्रेटरी और डायरेक्टर स्ट्रोक अपॉइंटमेंट, राइट? सो बट ही बिहेव्स एज इफ ही हैज नॉट सीन द डायरेक्टर. उधर जाके पूछता है हाँ इसका हो गया उसका हो गया, नेक्स्ट हु इज इन लाइन. नो सर, एवरीबॉडी हैज बीन you know up sent to the hall. There so fine sir, it's okay sir. And the director is very upset. Director is asking, Sharma ji, is this your sense of punctuality? Did you get your office order? And this person is not answering. Did you get your office order? I am asking you. Is this the time? What is the time? You are coming at 9:45. अभी आने का टाइम था क्या आपको? When you should have come. And Sharma ji not answering. So the director kept persisting with the questions for 10 different ways, and then he lost his cool. He said something nasty to Sharma ji. Something I cannot repeat in the classroom. He said something which was very bad for him to utter for the director, but then Sharma ji replied in same coin. Sharma ji told him, मैं आपके बाप का नौकर नहीं हूँ. Don't talk to me like this. A person 3 level down is telling, I'm a government servant, I'm not your बाप का नौकर. Don't talk to me like this. Okay, so then the director is, अभी भी director जो है वो अपनी बेइज्जती कराने में तुला हुआ है. वो कह रहा है, the director is saying, should I talk to you like a director should speak to a section officer? फिर वो बोलता है, whatever आपको जो मर्जी में आए करो, but you cannot talk to me like this. या सीन खत्म हो गया. नेक्स्ट सीन अगले दिन सुबह, और आपको देखना मेरा ख्याल है, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, इट वाज अ संडे. सो मंडे को दिस डायरेक्टर गोज टू द सेक्रेटरीज ऑफिस एंड कन्विंसेस द सेक्रेटरी दिस मैन इज wrong on 2 counts. First, he came late on such a huge function once in a year for the whole ministry, and second, he misbehaved with me. He displayed insubordination in front of so many people. And the secretary, there was a lady, very evolved spiritual person by the name Veena Chaudhary, an IAS officer. The secretary is telling the director, ठीक है, प्रोग्राम तो इतना अच्छे से हो गया, president was so happy, minister ने भी सबको thank you बोला. Nobody, I mean, you know it, some other people know it, but nobody else even got to know that Sharma ji was not on time. हो गया, let bygone be bygone, चलो कोई बात नहीं, प्रोग्राम ठीक से हो गया, क्षमा कर दो उसको, माफ करो. No, ma'am, today he is misbehaving with me, tomorrow he will misbehave with you, and then with the minister, and in front of so many people, the whole office discipline खराब हो जाएगा सर. ऐसे मत करो मैडम, चार्जशीट करना है इसमें. मैम ने पूछा एक बार सोच लो, रियली वांट टू चार्जशीट? मैम मैं सोच कर आया, छोड़ नहीं सकते, वरना कल को तो पीएम लोग बदतमीजी करना शुरू कर देंगे, आप सेक्शन ऑफिसर ने कराया, इतने लोगों के सामने करा उसने. एंड सो इट वाज डिसाइडेड टू इशू हिम अ माइनर पेनल्टी चार्जशीट. अच्छा, चार्जशीट वाज इशूड विद 2 charges: कमिंग लेट, रिपोर्टिंग लेट बाय 1 hour and 45 minutes, जिसको उसने प्रोटेस्ट किया कि मैं सिर्फ 1 घंटे 40 मिनट लेट था, 1 घंटे 45 मिनट लेट नहीं था, 5 मिनट का गड़बड़ है चार्जशीट में. ठीक है, ये एक्सेप्टेड. मैं 9:40 पे आया था, मगर चार्जशीट में गलत लिखा है, इसमें लिखा अपना रिप्लाई. सो कमिंग एट 9:45, दैट वाज फर्स्ट चार्ज, एंड मिसबिहेविंग एंड इनसबऑर्डिनेशन विद हिज सुपीरियर ऑफिसर, ये 2 चार्जेस. एंड उसको 7 दिन का समय दिया था, 7 दिन में उसने रिप्लाई दिया, और रिप्लाई में उसने लिखा कि आई एडमिट आई वाज लेट, एंड आई आल्सो एडमिट दैट आई मिसबिहेव्ड विद श्री सो एंड सो डायरेक्टर. But then he wrote, on that day when I woke up in the morning at around 6 o'clock, my 5 years old child was running very high temperature. When I touched him accidentally, I found he was having very high temperature. Since last night only he was telling some stomach ache, and in the morning he was having very high temperature. When I checked the thermometer, I found it was 103 degree, and so I got alarmed. I woke up my wife. Both of us tried to revive our child because he was not conscious. So we pour water, we did cold compress, but the child did not come into senses. So we got totally harried, harassed, bothered, worried. We called a hospital nearby, which is Rockland Hospital. We called them for an ambulance, and they said this hospital doesn't have ambulance. We have to wait till some Modi hospital opens at 8 o'clock, and from there we can get a ambulance. So you hire a taxi and come to the hospital, we will treat you. And then we called the nearby taxi stand. There are 2 taxi stands outside our house, but we kept calling on those numbers, nobody was picking up the phone. Then after around half an hour, I called another taxi person at Mandi house near our office, which is some 10-15 kilometers away from his house. I called him because we have official relation with that taxi guy, and he said wait for 20 minutes, half an hour, I will get the vehicle. But next 40 minutes there was no vehicle, and my boy was still not in senses. So we wrapped him in a blanket and both of us started walking. Outside is what it was dense fog. December ka mahina hai, Delhi mein. It was dense fog, and we saw that both the taxi stands were totally empty. No vehicle, no person on the taxi stand. We kept walking for the next 4 kilometers, walking, running. We did not get a single auto. The first auto we got was near Bhigaji Kama place. We hired that auto, we reached Southern Hospital, we went to the emergency, the doctor saw the boy and then asked me to go and get the OPD card issued for the boy. So while standing in the OPD card, I asked my wife to call my friend from Sarojini Nagar and ask him to relieve me because I had a function to attend. My friend came from Sarojini Nagar, relieved me from the queue. On his scooter I went back to my house, I brushed my teeth, I changed my clothes and immediately came to Vigyan Bhavan. I knew that I was late, but I would like to request you to check my records. You will find that 90% of the time I am the person who has withdrawn key from the security. I am the first person to reach office every day. This fact can be verified from the key room. Okay. Also, I never misbehave with anybody. You can ask Mr. Jitendra, who is the sweeper of our office. I even call him Mr. Jitendra or Jitendra Ji. Let alone talking to an officer of that seniority with such this thing. But that day I was totally charged, and then I thought that the director will ask me 2-3 times, then he will leave, but he did not leave. He kept asking question after question after question, and there has to be some end to it. So I got a little irritated, and he used a particular word in front of 6 of my staff members for me. Then I got irritated and then I answered in this way. I know it was wrong on my part, but this was the first time ever I have committed such a thing. So I may please be excused for this and forgiven, and this charge sheet may be dropped. Okay, this is what he has written, and all these facts, like his friend who was working in Nirman Bhavan, Ministry of Commerce, he was checked, he was on leave on that day. Safdarjung hospital document was available there. The office taxi guy also confirmed that yes, he called me, I could not arrange a taxi for him. Okay, all the fact that he mentioned, that he 90% of the time he was the one who used to bring the, open the office, and nobody else had ever had a complaint. In fact, the director was also called and asked whether he had ever misbehaved with you earlier. He said no, never. It is the first time. What? क्या करें इस केस में? चाय पी लीजिए. I think चाय आ गई होगी. चाय पी लीजिए. चाय पे सोचिए what to do in this case. हाँ, चाय पे सकते हैं. हाँ, फैक्ट सारे वेरीफाई हो गए, मैंने बताया. Everything has been verified.